All right. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to George Croft's American Music Show. Today's guest is Ritch Shefke. Ritch is a bass player and multi-instrumentalist with decades of experience playing in bands all up and down the state of California. He's currently playing bass in the phenomenal tribute band LaineyWood, and you can catch their next show at Goldfields in Sacramento on November 29th. So please enjoy this conversation with Ritch Shefke. All right, we've got a new music alert, ladies and gentlemen. My latest single, High Sierra Coming Down, has just dropped and is available wherever you get your music. So go ahead and check it out, send it to a friend, and remember that's High Sierra Coming Down. We are also brought to you by Tyler & Co. Marketing, providing top-notch photography and videography services to Northern California. Tyler & Co. is your one-stop shop for social media content, product videos, commercials, promotional videos, and best of all, weddings and events. I dare you to take a quick scroll down their Instagram page at TylerandCo_marketing and tell me it doesn't look like a Hollywood production. If you want people to ask you who the executive producer of your wedding was, call Tyler & Co. If you want it to look like you got paid just to be in your wedding photos, call Tyler & Co. If you want the video of your first dance to look like it qualified you for the Screen Actors Guild, call Tyler & Co. And best of all, your future father-in-law is going to forgive you for everything. Everything. When he finds out how much money you're saving him on this wedding by using Tyler & Co. marketing to capture your big day. So visit tylerandcofilms.com for all your photography needs. That's tylerandcofilms.com. Well, Ritch, thanks for coming on the show, man.
Hey, George, thanks for having me. This is great.
Awesome. So you are a performing artist in the Sacramento area. So tell me, where'd you start? Where are you from?
I'm from Detroit City.
Wow.
I come from a family. Everybody plays instruments. It's family reunions have always been fun. Just sitting around playing around a fire at the lake, or around a picnic table or whatever. And Grandma taught me how to play all the basic chords.
Nice.
And I kind of took it from there. And I was never much of a guitar player. I didn't like it that much. And
really?
No. And I picked up a bass one day. And I don't remember where I got it, but this is what I want to do.
That's awesome.
I've been a bass player since that day.
How many grandmas are guitar players? You never hear about that very often.
You really don't. My Grandma Sugar, she was a pretty good musician.
Nice.
My mom teaches piano. My aunt plays guitar. She also is a pianist. Everybody does something.
Man. So what brought you to California? What was what's the journey there?
Well, I joined the military right out of high school.
That'll do it, yeah.
And I got out, and I was stationed right in the middle of the country, and my mom had moved to San Diego when I was 11 from Detroit. And as a guy who's 23, 24 years old, I had the opportunity to go back to Detroit or go to San Diego, just to start your life. And I'm like, I'm going to go to San Diego. And I just kind of ended up there. And
just the weather alone, I feel like.
It was fantastic. And it's quite a culture shock from Detroit. But it was well worth it. I think everybody should live in San Diego until they're about 27, 28.
Yeah, I'd say you might age out of that one, yeah.
Yeah, you kind of do.
Man. So last week on the show, we did Gordon Lightfoot was our subject.
Yeah, I heard part of that. It was great.
I made a little bit of a mistake not a mistake. I mentioned that the internet just became aware of the Edmund Fitzgerald in the last 5 years. Suddenly it's everywhere, every November. And I had a bunch of people from Michigan being like, it never stopped being a big deal here.
Never.
No one forgot the Edmund Fitzgerald.
Mm-hmm.
Is that so? What was your first memory of running into that story?
Back in the 70s and 80s when I was a kid, all those songs, early yacht rock, Wildfire, the wreck of the Edmund Fitzgerald, those kind of songs were huge in Detroit. And Gordon Lightfoot, being a Canadian from right across the river from where I grew up, it was on the radio all the time. It's still on the radio all the time.
Yeah, I was going to say,
So it was always a thing to us. and we didn't know. And I was actually wandering around Detroit a couple of months ago, and I found they actually mentioned the church where they rang the bell.
The stone church,
29 times. It's right there on the river.
Yeah.
And I've never actually, I just imagine it was something in the song, but I never really thought much about it. And I was just wandering around Detroit all by myself, something I've never done before. And I'm like, well, look at that. It's a real place. There's the bell. And this is the bell. And it was really kind of cool to see.
Man, that's awesome. Yeah. Yeah. Every once in a while you'll run into stuff like that where like you realize you're in a spot where like, oh, that's like, this is what that guy was looking at when he wrote that line, or exactly. It's just such a cool like touch point to like, that thing that you've heard or, that you ran into from when you were young.
So Gordon Lightfoot was a huge thing when we were kids, and he never really went away.
Yeah, that was a cool, I had no idea. Like I said, so what is your perception? Has that like, have you noticed more of that recently where like suddenly people in California are like all about that song? Or is it like, were you always like, did you notice a new wave of interest in it, or was it?
Not really. I don't know. To me, the song was just, growing up back where I was, it was just ubiquitous. It was always there.
It was always there.
And whenever I hear a song like that pop up out here, I'm like, oh, hey, and I'm singing along, and people are like, you know this song?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's awesome. Okay. So post-military, you moved to San Diego. Mm-hmm. And then, so how long did you stay there? What was the?
Lived down there until 2001.
Okay.
And had some friends up here. Just ended up in Roseville and
nice.
Kind of ended up in Auburn. That's
there you
where
go.
I'm at right now.
Yeah, there are worse parts of the world to end up in.
It really is. You could end up some really bad places, but Auburn is beautiful.
Yeah,
I love
it.
And
it's one of those cool towns too, where like it's a good distance from anywhere. You could be on the coast in a couple hours. You could be in the mountains in 10 minutes. You could be, that's a cool.
It's got a cool little small town vibe. It's close enough to get to a big shopping mall if you want, or to go up into the mountains and hide if you want to.
Yeah, exactly. So how'd you enter the music scene up there? Did you just, where'd you start up there? Well, I should say, did you ever like drop music, or were you always playing through the years there by the time you ended up there?
Well, I've been playing in bands since I was 15, just playing in bars, and I've been doing it since I've been doing it longer than I haven't been doing it.
Yeah.
Up here, when we first moved up here, I found, I just ran into a buddy I was working with. He's like, I'm in a band. I'm like, hey, I play bass. You want to come jam? Sure. And you just get yourself into the scene. And next thing you know, you're playing in bars again. And it's just, you meet people, bands fall apart, relationships fall apart. You get into new bands, and
just stick with it and
you just
keep
stick
going.
with it, and because it's not like something I can just quit. I can't stop it.
Yeah,
I can't stop playing. It's in your blood. You can't get away from it.
Yep. Yeah, it's not an optional thing. I feel like sometimes.
No, it chooses you, and it won't let go.
So what's your first memory of being like, oh, I'm doing the thing, like the music's working? Like did you have a moment where you realized, or was it just a slow burn?
It's been a slow burn for 40 years now almost. I've been in bands where it feels like you're right on the verge of, signing that big record deal or doing this, or you start hearing your songs on the radio, and then it just kind of fizzles away, and then you start all over again.
Do you remember the first song you ever heard that was yours on the radio?
It was down in San Diego. It was a song called D-Day. The band was The Good China. This is just as the internet was just barely in its infancy.
Yeah.
And we had a radio, one of the DJs down, I think it was 91X or 92.5. I don't remember. One of the radio stations, one of the alternative radio stations down there in the mid-90s. And he's like, I really love your guys' stuff. And they put a compilation CD out.
Nice.
And they put a couple of our songs on it, and they played some of our songs on the radio. And, it's that thing you hear from, every movie of a band who's made it big. They hear their song on the radio for the first time, like, oh my God, that's us. Turn it up.
Turn it on. Yeah.
Well, there was no calling each other at the time, but you get home and you pick up your phone
right,
off
you
the
go
wall
home
and
to call your
somebody.
friends. Yeah. Oh, that's great. So what's your favorite like venue you've played so far?
Favorite venue I've played? Oh my gosh. I don't know, man. There's been so many. There's a lot of really cool places down in San Diego on the beach. We played the Whiskey. It wasn't really all that cool. It was kind of a dump, to be honest with you. But it's cool to be able to say I've played there.
Yeah.
And the Coconut Teaser down there. Gosh, I don't. There's so many. There's nothing that really stands out.
Yeah, there's something to love about all of them, probably. Yeah,
there is. The one that stands out in my head more than anything was we played at a Marine. I think it was the Marine's birthday, the one that just recently passed.
Like the Marine Ball.
Something like, but it was on the beach in San Diego, and there had to be 200,000 people there.
Yeah.
It was just a giant thing. The stage is set up on the beach, and there was people as far as you could see in any direction. It was fantastic. Yeah, those kind of gigs stand out in your mind, and you're like, I've played to that many people at once.
Yeah.
I don't know how many people were paying attention, but I was
still counts.
fun.
Yeah,
I was performing. I had a good time.
That still counts. Yeah. So, what kind of music were you playing back then? Like, what kind of bands did you start with?
It was a female-fronted band. We got compared to the Cranberries a lot. Mostly original. Played some covers, just
to fill out the set. Yeah,
fill everything out. We put out a couple of CDs, but there's no huge traction. Every now and then we get talked to by an agent or by a record label, and just I don't know. I've never been so much on the management side of all this stuff. I'm the guy that buys gear, lugs gear, helps write the music. But as far as promoting myself, I've never been good at it. It's never been my thing. I want it to be, but I just don't get it sometimes.
Yeah, it's a whole nother job sometimes. Yeah,
it is.
It's a lot of bandwidth. Yeah,
I'm learning more about it.
Yeah. So when did you start writing your own songs? Like, when did that bug bite you?
Oh, I've been doing that since I started playing. It's really that note sounds good with that note. This sounds good. Look at this. I've written a song.
Yeah. Oh, so you said like for bass lines especially, like did you stick with bass pretty much? Like I
still write on guitar.
Okay.
But my writing style is not like you. I've listened to your stuff. I'm like, that dude's got some talent. But all your songs sound like you. Every song I write sounds completely different from the last one. Like one's like something it's like in 7, and then something it's like a waltz, and then there's just some goofy country sound.
Well, there's no rules. Yeah, you can. That's what's fun, especially now. I feel like, especially now, the boundaries between genres are kind of starting to dissolve a little bit. Like, you can get away, especially in country, you can get away with a lot. Like, there's like jazzier stuff. There's like the rap end of things. Some of it's really rock and roll. Some of it's real twang. Like, I feel like it's a great time to be alive in the songwriting space right now, because there's kind of hardly any rules about what you can do. The question is just, do people like it? Yes or no? And people don't really care. It's it's not like I did an episode recently talking about Stevie Ray Vaughan and his brother. And it's so funny to like look back at those stories and how they're going through times where people are harassing Jimmy Vaughan for not being rock and roll because he's too bluesy, or vice versa. Like, people were really rigid about the boundaries between genres, and you would like lose fans if you wrote a song that was too much outside of your wheelhouse. Oh yeah. But I feel like that's much less the case now.
Yeah, everything just crosses lines now, and it's nice to see that a guy like I don't know, like a homie, Kid Rock.
Yeah.
He was a rapper back in the 80s. He grew up in the next town, to the town next to me.
Really?
He was, we were contemporaries. I'm sure we were in the same place, same time, many times. I didn't know him. Yeah. But he was just a rapper, hip hop guy. And now look at him. He's damn near a country artist.
Talk about an adaptive career. Yeah, that dude is, he's a case study for like how to maintain success across
how to continue being
changing
relevant.
Landscape. That's a whole he's a good one to model a career after if you can keep the steam going. But man, all right, so now you're in 2 bands, right? What are you up to now?
Right now, I guess it's technically 2 different bands, same people.
Oh, okay.
We're doing the tribute thing, LaineyWood, to Lainey Wilson and Carrie Underwood.
Nice.
Our singer Jessica's phenomenal.
Yeah, she's I was listening to some of her stuff. She's got a great voice.
She does. She kind of looks like a combination of the 2.
Nice. That helps. Yeah.
The other band is Moonshine Crazy. It's a country cover. Same singer, same player, same everything.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, that band's been together for 10 years with pretty much the exact same lineup. We have not changed anything in almost 9 years. It's comforting.
So you guys just market yourselves differently depending on what name you're operating under? Like how much effort do you put into keeping those two names separate and your body of work separate?
I'm not sure how much effort there is to keep them separate because it's so obvious that it's the same people in the same band.
Right.
I don't know how we could keep it separate. We don't market them together.
Right.
But everybody like sees LaineyWood and they're like, oh, that's Moonshine Crazy, or it's going to be vice versa. As soon as LaineyWood starts getting out of there a little more, we've only had a couple shows. We've got the big one coming up the Saturday after Thanksgiving at Goldfields in Roseville.
Oh, nice.
That's gonna be huge.
That's great.
A fun one.
Yeah, and that's for LaineyWood is doing that.
Yeah,
one.
that one's for LaineyWood.
Awesome. So, is there like have you guys gotten to do other like opening acts for the like country acts that are coming through with that band, or kind of where does your I guess is Moonshine Crazy been your front horse so far?
Yeah, it's been the one that's had the most traction. I guess it's a fairly large thing in Sacramento. I don't know.
You don't have to be humble. It's fine.
I don't get
they're
it.
a big deal. It's
I don't ever feel like I'm a big deal. I feel like the rest of the band is a big deal. As a bass player, you kind of have a different mentality.
Yeah.
You're not the focal point of the band.
Well, but you're a part of the thing,
absolutely.
We just got done, talking earlier about how, any one of those pieces falls apart and you can sink the whole band. So as long as everybody's on the same team, I feel like that's.
Yeah, we believe in that a lot in Moonshine Crazy, that it's about the relationship of the four of us together. We've had gigs where somebody would sub for one or the other.
Yeah.
Really, the only one you can't sub is Jess.
Right. Yeah.
It's.
Yeah. Having two front women in the same band just the amount of practice and the amount of work to get it right with one person. Yeah. It's tough to.
Yeah. And having, a different voice and a different, person being the focal point of the band that's just weird. It's a different band at that point.
Exactly. Yeah.
But you sub in another bass player, another drummer, or another guitar player, you can kind of get away with that every now and then.
Yeah. Yeah. As long as everybody's practicing. Yeah. Yeah. I was in a house band in Arizona where we had two, like me and the other front man, where we could each sing each other's songs. We performed together, but we did that just in case somebody was out. But that was like, you're in a house band at the same bar. We weren't like touring around the area. So it was a little easier to navigate having two frontmen, and it worked out great. That was a great time.
Yeah. And I bet a guy like you can just pull something out on your own and cover whatever he might not be able to, or something you're not comfortable with him doing, or you're like, well, he's not here, I'm going to do something a little different tonight.
Well, no. Well, in that case, in the band that I was in, you have that whole set list worked out with the other four guys, and everybody's, it was just we worked really hard to have a lot of overlap. So because the other frontman was a firefighter, and so there were some gigs that, he wasn't going to be able to pull off, or we knew that I was going to be leaving, because I knew I was probably moving back to California at the time. So there's a bunch of up in the air questions. Mm-hmm. So we managed to pull it off. But yeah, it's not ideal.
Yeah, being a firefighter, their schedules are a little weird, and they rarely plan fires.
That band is still together. Shout out to the zookeepers and Flagstaff. Yeah, they're still doing the dang thing. Yeah, it's been a few years since I left, but yeah, like I said, I would imagine for you guys, just you've got a solid front woman. She sounds great.
Yeah, we try not to sub out.
Yeah, don't mess with what's working.
We use a lot of technology. We've got some really good PA gear and just a lot of in-ear stuff, and click tracks and backing loops, and just the stuff that's always going on. That if particularly Mark, the drummer, if he's not there,
oh yeah,
things get a little weird. And we had a show recently where he wasn't able to be there right on time to set all that stuff up, and the guitar player and I were trying to set it up, and something was going haywire and a cable went dead.
Oh no.
And we're calling Mark, what do we do? Turn it off, turn it back on.
Have you tried whacking it one time?
We turned it off, turned it back on, everything was aces. And why didn't we think of that?
Yeah, man. So what has been your, like, if you can think of like your highlight moment so far, like what's playing in any band, like, can you think of a time where like you just thought this is it, like this is what we're working for?
Gosh. We played at Golden Sky last year. We were like the very first band to go on, and just getting on there and the size of that stage and how hard our booking agent worked for it to get us on there. And, you know, everybody getting on, and you walk on that stage, you know, like my first 3 apartments weren't this big combined. And all the people just grabbing your stuff and, where would you like me to put this, sir? And moving it all around. And like, well, don't touch my stuff. What do you mean? I mean, this is kind of cool, actually. Yeah. So you walk up on there, and then you're looking out at this vast expanse of the people you're going to be playing to. And, you know, we're the very first band. So, you know, they had just let the floodgates open. So there were people running everywhere. You know, they want to get to see whoever the headliners were that day. And they're kind of running past us. We're still playing to hundreds of people.
Yeah.
It didn't look like a huge crowd because the stage was enormous and just the whole venue is enormous, but we're still playing to hundreds of people.
Yeah.
Like, this is really cool. And then you see the pictures, and there's like a 7-story video screen with my big ugly mug on it. It's a little intimidating, to be honest with you.
Probably feels great when it's over, though.
It did feel great when it was over. I had a couple cocktails after that. It was a little nerve wracking. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
I've played in another band where we made a documentary of us recording and playing shows.
Oh wow!
And they made a movie. I was in a movie.
Really?
And we played a set. And then they showed the movie at the theater up in Auburn. The name escapes me. Oh my gosh. It's the old theater in Auburn.
Yeah.
So we played a set in front of the stage, and then the set was over, and they played the movie behind us.
Well, what's the movie called?
Tear the Whole Thing Down.
Tear the Whole Thing Down.
Yeah. It was the band was Joe Getty and the Dead Flowers.
Wow.
And we recorded this album and did really well.
So where'd that name come from?
Joe Getty and the Dead Flowers?
No. Tear the Whole Thing Down.
It was kind of the first single on the album.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
And it's all about, you know, people just having jobs, and we're just going to tear it all down, and we're just going to play. And just going to play rock music, and, you know, we're just a bunch of guys, dads, fathers.
Yeah, just doing the
blue collar guys, just doing the rock and roll thing. And, you know, one of the guys in the band happened to have a fairly large name, and
nice.
So we got, somebody paid us to do all the recording and make the movie. And
yeah. Do you know, where can people find it? Is it still around? Is it on YouTube or anything? Or
it is on YouTube. I just showed.
Nice. Yeah.
I just showed Jermaine the movie, and she happens to also be in it.
Oh,
we did a lot of the recording at the bar that she managed. And
that's awesome. Small world.
Yeah. We just happened to be watching it the other day. I'm like, wait a minute.
Yeah.
That's you.
Yeah. Man, that's got to be a cool experience though, getting to go through the whole, like, what was that like making a documentary as you're working?
It's I hated it personally. I'm not a big fan of hearing myself speak or singing. I mean, I've been recorded thousands of times. Can't even tell you how many recordings I'm on and how many studio sessions I've done. And I cannot tell you one time that I've heard myself sing and like, oh, that was really good. So the cameraman would be, you know, following us around, just being candid, trying to stay out of the way.
Yeah.
And every time I'd be doing something, I'd catch him out of the corner of my eye, like, all right, stop it. Just get that out of my face.
Yeah. I mean, I can, even when I'm at home, like if I get a text like, hey, we need a video for something. Okay. A song that I play all the time and that I'll play in a show clean all the way through. Mm-hmm. No problem. Try to video yourself doing that same song and get it in one take. I dare you. Just knowing the camera's on is just another level of like,
oh yeah,
just the eyeball being there. Yeah. So yeah, I can't imagine doing that. That's me in my backyard with an iPhone. I can't imagine like, hey, there's a film crew
Yeah, there's
good luck.
A film crew right there in front of you, and they're trying to get you in, and you're fighting with them, and you're still trying to perform, and you're just trying to be entertaining, and the camera's right there, and
you're just taking up that extra bandwidth, and
and so
triggering mistakes sometimes. Oh man,
we played that show, and then we showed the movie, and it's on a real giant movie screen, right?
Man,
and I was like, hell, it'll take me 6 months to listen to this podcast just because I can't stand the sound of my own voice.
You're doing great. Yeah, it sounds awesome.
I happened to open the door to look at the movie to see how it was going because I didn't want to hear it myself. And I didn't want to see it. And my face was the only thing. Oh my God. Close the door. And I don't think I watched it or even tried to watch it again for like 2 years. I just couldn't do it.
So when you did go back and watch it, how long of a span of time did you just catch it at the right 5 seconds, or are you all over that thing like that? Like,
I'm all over it. I mean, I'm not the star of the show, but there's only 4 people in the band, so
so you're in there. Yeah, I'm in it. Camera angles, yeah, and
every shot that I'm in, I'm like, I don't remember him doing that because he snuck up on me. It's nerve wracking. I just, as long as I've been doing this, it never gets any more comfortable for me.
Yeah, being on camera and kind of hearing yourself. Yeah, I mean, because if you think about it, that experience is new to humans in the last 100 years. Like being able to hear yourself back like that is like, I mean, okay, phonographs in the early 1800s or whatever. Barring, as a music performer, hearing yourself back and like critiquing yourself is like, I don't think we're evolved to handle that.
No, and your voice sounds nothing.
It sounds nothing like, yeah, I'm the same way. And like when I listen back to my stuff, like when we're, in the studio doing stuff, like, it's just nails on a chalkboard sometimes.
Every time.
But then somebody else like, oh, it sounds great. And you're like, if you say so, man, like I can pick out a million things I could have done better there. Or like I heard this thing. Like the producer that I work with a lot often, he's just like, hey man, you're the only one that noticed that. Like it's fine. And it's like, okay, you got to just like trust them. And then, and then it turns out good and everything's fine. But but I think being your own worst critic like that is probably more of an asset than it is a liability. As long as you're like somewhat grounded.
I think I take it to a higher level. Recording everything we've recorded, I'll listen to it immediately and just pick it apart and just cringe. Like, oh, I could have played that so much better. I could the attack on that one note. I want to go back and do that, but I don't want to bother the engineer or the producer to go back and, roll and let me hit that one note again. Let me play that entire passage one more time. Yeah. He's like, dude, we'll fix that. Don't worry.
But, like I said, but I probably, end of the day, that's probably a plus to your quality of work, like versus being the guy that's like, I think I nailed it. And everyone's like, hey, could you imagine being the producer? Like, hey, would you mind taking that last lick again? And you're like, oh, I guess so. Like that guy's quality of work is not going to be as good as a guy that's self-critical and knows, hey, let me crack that again. And let me, especially if you have a patient crew that's like willing to let you do it,
Yeah. I was in the studio one time and it was Prairie Sun down in, it's in the Bay Area somewhere. It's a beautiful studio. Oh my God, it was gorgeous. And they have a house they put you up in and everything. And I got hired to play bass on this one track, or this one album, I should say. It was just like 6 songs. And they handed me like a $15,000 Alembic bass. I've never held something that cost that much in my entire life. I just showed up with my jazz bass, and this is what I'm used to playing. They gave me this beautiful bass. It's all ready to go with just, and I'm tuning. I'm not getting anything out of it. I can't hear it. I can't turn it up. So the engineer, fantastic guy. He was just a sweetheart. And he's like, oh, yeah, I'm not getting a signal. And he goes outside and he's fiddling around. He's tracing stuff out. And he walks up to me. Maybe you should plug this in.
It's like, you said it was ready to go when you handed it to me.
Well, I think he just assumed I would go ahead and plug it in.
Yeah.
But I failed to do that. And the session came out fantastic. No. Played fine. As far as I was concerned, it was okay. But that was a little embarrassing.
Yeah. It's nice when people hook you up though, and they're not. I had the embarrassing experience of singing to the wrong side of a directional mic. I did an entire take.
Oh no.
All right, we'll do that one again.
That's a cool studio trick I learned back in.
Sing into the side with the label on it and you'll be safe.
The studio can be, it's such a sterile environment. But at the same time, it's so, it's nerve wracking because there's people focused on you. and they're recording you and they're listening to you. And if you're, if your technique, as a bass player, you got to keep everything kind of as level as possible. Don't overplay, don't underplay. Stick to the kick drum, stick to, the phrasing of the song. And just every now and then you get a wild hair and just you start going off and could you just settle down for a minute?
Oh man.
I was
in the middle of the take?
Oh yeah.
No.
Yeah.
That doesn't sound like, I mean, I have the luxury of like the producer that I work with is just the sweetest guy on the planet. Shout out to Will Mitchell. He's just a treasure. And he's very like, he'll let me do a whole take and then, okay, on that one, maybe we'll go back and try this. Cause I'm all about, I'll do full takes over and over and over. I don't care. Cause he's patient enough to let me do it and just make mistakes and, or just tweak stuff here and there. Oh, we'll try this one. We'll try that one. And the whole thing is like a fun experience creatively. And like the end product is great. That's fun because we're friends and we're not under the gun being paid by a record label to get it right as fast as we can. Versus I can't imagine, like I would imagine like there's a certain point in the studio where we don't have time for that. And we got to like, hey, mid take, hey, maybe do that again. Like, nope, stop. Yeah. Like, we don't have time for we can't do the whole song 7 times. We got to go back.
Yeah. Or you flubbed the line.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you're like, Joe, can we go back and redo that one real quick?
Yeah. It's like, all right.
Yeah. Okay. Don't screw it up again.
Yeah. Yeah. Time is money.
Time is money. Exactly. When you get some guy, it's his first full length CD and he was given like, I think it was 10 grand at the time to record these songs.
Yeah.
And you're sitting there, where's the plug for the bass? Damn bass
Not
players.
Inspiring confidence right off the bat.
Inspiring confidence.
Yeah, man. Well, and imagine too, like, I feel like now, at least we don't have the expense now of actual tape. Like you're not like having to reel things back and like you're burning, tape on stuff. Like once we hit the digital age, right. Yeah. Yeah. But now it's, it's like, you just hit the delete button or don't. And, you can edit stuff and it's, it's taken some of the pressure off, I would imagine.
Yeah. That was, I've been doing this a long time. There was tape.
Yeah.
2-inch tape.
2-inch tape and only 10 grand to work with.
Yeah. At a high-end recording studio.
Yeah.
I
pressure's on.
Yeah. I was so happy when the drums and bass were done with that and I could just sit back and have a cocktail.
Yeah.
And watch them struggle.
Yeah. Out of the hot seat, somebody else can get in.
I'm all done. Man. It's not going to get any better.
Yeah. So when did you start getting studio musician work? Like, how did that come about?
I think that started with the Good China down in San Diego. We're writing originals left and right. And it was just flowing out of us. We're all in our mid 20s and just writing like crazy. Like we should record this. How do you do that? I don't know.
Yeah.
And our guitar player Gil Corey, shout out to him. I don't know if he'll ever hear this, but I'm going to show it to him.
Yeah, send it to him. Yeah.
And we went up to Pasadena, and he had a buddy who owned a studio. He had just opened in his house.
Oh, nice.
And we just started recording. This is before Click Track, before any of that stuff. And we just had some ideas, and the guy who owned the joint, I forget his name. He was a great guy though, but he just wanted to play with the stuff.
Yeah.
So it didn't cost us that much. But yeah, we were just, I knew how to play a bass and I could sing. Ren knew how to sing, Gil could play a guitar. But when it came time to like doing, they were like background loops. We'd have to sit down and figure out exactly how all that stuff worked because he didn't know how it all worked either.
Yeah.
Or when keyboard parts would come up, none of us are proficient keyboard players. So we had one song where we had some pretty intense keyboards, but none of us could do it. So all 3 of us were playing our parts like, okay, I've got this part, you do that at the same time. And then Ren be down here on the bass parts. And all 3 of us were playing what probably could have been done very easily by a professional keyboard player in no time, but it took 3 of us to do it.
Well,
but it was fun.
Yeah, I was saying, I bet too, like those kind of experiences pay off way. Like I would imagine that's like getting to know the nuts and bolts of something like that, starting out and just kind of figuring out how all that stuff works. I bet that comes in handy.
It really does.
Down the road. Yeah.
And when you get when you're a band that doesn't have a lot of money to throw around, and you go into a decent studio, they're going to throw the inexperienced engineer at you, who doesn't know what all the buttons do either.
Yeah.
So you're gonna.
We're all learning together.
We're all learning together, and it ends up being fun, and interesting. You don't always get the best thing, but that's the stuff you can fix in post production. You all that stuff, it can all be tweaked later.
Yeah,
all of it can be tweaked later, and take everything to mastering, and it all ends up. It always sounds.
Yeah,
like the junior engineer did it. But we're not out there spending a bunch of money, and we're hoping this gets picked up by a label. And before you really know how the industry works, and if it gets picked up by a label, they're going to make you record everything all over again.
Yeah, you're kind of just doing high quality demo tapes at a certain level.
Yeah, and you don't realize that until you're 10 years into it.
Yeah, I've had that experience recently where there's songs that you spend weeks. Getting people together and studio time and, sitting down with the producer and getting everything, as good as you can make it sound with the gear you got and, people's time and, and then you'll hear someone go, oh, that was a good demo. You're like, demo? That was the best I could do right there.
Let's go outside.
Yeah. And it's like, oh, that was a decent demo you made. It's like, oh, no.
But yeah, I've come to the same conclusion that pretty much anything I've ever recorded was essentially just a demo.
Yeah, compared to what they're cranking out, I guess, in the big leagues, that's
the Dead Flower stuff actually is very professionally done.
Yeah,
but they had the money to throw at
right. Yeah, that's money makes all the difference.
It wasn't it wasn't on Elektra or Atlantic or anything like that. They just people that threw money at us just wanted this thing.
Well, those are cool though. That's some of those. A lot of songs you find like that, like. There's a million rock and roll tracks that were like should have been a demo, or like meant to be a demo, and then it's like actually that first take was great, and it like turned into something, and so you never know. That's
the first few Rolling Stones albums are like that. It seems like to me.
Actually, to circle back to the Edmund Fitzgerald thing, did you know that story about how like that got the take that they used?
Yeah,
it was like
he just nodded at the drummer.
Just kind of come in here, come in there. And then they tried for weeks after, so that they treated that as a demo.
Yeah.
And then they tried to do other takes of it later, and they couldn't make the same magic happen. All right, we'll just use the first one, and that's the version that we hear today. It's like, same that exact story. It was like it was kind of meant to be a demo, and it turned out to be the thing that everybody loved.
I think I just saw that video on YouTube or something, and it's funny that it's just so strange that I heard you talking about it. When was it, a week or so ago?
Yeah, I'll say it's November. It's it's Edmund Fitzgerald season. Yeah, so the YouTube is on fire with all the
Edmund Fitzgerald season.
It's people are making sweatshirts and all kinds of stuff.
That's funny.
But just cool stories like that floating around though, just like accidental greatness.
There's so many of it. Hell, every Sex Pistols album was like that.
Yeah,
but they make two actually, but one go on every shot and every song takes them half an hour to do the entire album.
Yep. Yeah, exactly. I've heard stories like Neil Young is like that, where like he does a lot of like one take things, and like he's kind of one of those guys that you better have the recordings going when he walks in, because he might just lay something down that's worth keeping and he expects you to have it.
And he walks out and I'm all done.
Yeah, like you gotta be on your toes, because every once in a while the first crack at something is great, and that's the one you use.
It's strange that a lot of times it is. Even in the studio, you're just sitting down warming up.
Yeah.
And you're just getting everything ready, and the engineer, he just, okay, about ready to start? Okay, we're just gonna have a go through. I'm just gonna push record, just don't even worry about this.
Yep.
And almost invariably the very first time is almost aces right away.
That's been one of my, like, it's happened to me a couple of times where, like, you go into the studio and you're on take like 9 or something, just because you want to tweak stuff or go back and do something. Oh, I think I can take that one a little bit better. And we end up going with like take 3 or something, which is like when you listen back to all of them, it's like, okay, that one is my favorite. I kept trying to outdo it, but like, okay, that's the one. So it's like you realize the last 2/3 of that studio session was just, practice basically.
Yeah. Perfection is the enemy of goodness.
Exactly. Yeah.
If you get something that you're fairly happy with and it fits your ear and it feels good the way you're playing it live, just do that.
Yep.
Do that.
Yeah,
and
go with that one.
It's all going to work out.
Yeah. Man. So you started doing studio work for other people as time went on, or have you always just kind of stuck to your own bands?
It's generally just been my own band. I've had a couple of studio gigs, and I don't like it. It's it's nerve-wracking.
Yeah.
To learn somebody's stuff right there in the studio, or they give it to you a week beforehand, and you just gotta stick it in your head,
Yeah.
and you just don't know if they're going to be happy with it. Or,
yeah, especially if you don't know the artist, I'd imagine that's pretty nerve-wracking. Like if you don't have like a friendship with them like beforehand, and it's just like you're just coming in cold, learning a song that I'm sure they put all their effort into, and now you have to get it right cold now. Go.
Well, yeah, and it's just what they give you is just like a something they've recorded on their phone.
Yeah.
And here, come up with something on this.
Yep.
I'm like, okay.
Yeah. Do your damnedest. Ready?
Sure.
Go.
I was thinking more of a samba. No,
Yeah.
That's not what you gave me. But whatever.
Yeah.
I'm not Lee Sklar. What do you want out of me?
Yeah. That's still great though. Yeah. It's still, like I said, it's still, it's got to feel good to just, be able to do what you love and kind of just crank out music like that.
Oh, it's fantastic.
Yeah.
There's nothing I like more than as much as I can't stand to actually listen to myself doing it. I love to do it.
Right. The act of doing it is,
Yeah.
what you love.
It takes me a minute to warm up to it.
Yeah.
The stuff that we recorded back in the 90s, I can listen to that now.
Yeah. You've got enough emotional distance from it.
Yeah. But some of the stuff, even from the Dead Flowers days, I listen to that and I'm like, I should have played that different, or I should have done this different.
Oh man, that'll eat you alive though. Yeah. You can't lean into that feeling for too long.
No, you can't. But, and I have this, I sing a lot of harmonies too.
There you go.
But I always do the super high harmonies. I don't know how that talent has befallen me.
It's tough to find these days. I'll tell you what.
I suppose.
Yeah.
But
harmony singing has been something that I've noticed in recent years. Every once in a while, you'll catch a song that comes out where it's like, oh, there's really good harmony in here. Mm-hmm. But there's a lot of songs that come out that are like, they're just singing the same part in different octaves over the top of each other. And they're like, they're not really harmonizing, but big radio is cranking stuff like that out. And I feel like you don't hardly ever hear like 4-part harmony in bands anymore. And like,
it's rare.
I mean, you have like Little Big Town is probably the last band that I can think of that is like still active and doing the damn thing, and they're a 4-part harmony group that still knows what they're doing. But but you don't run into a lot of it. Yeah.
You see a lot of bands that try it.
Yes, that's the other thing. Yeah, it's because it's difficult, man. It's a whole nother. If you find somebody that can sing harmony, get a hold of them, and that's if you're working on something like that, it's a treasure if you can find them.
Yeah, I have a problem. I don't know what your harmony talents are, but I have a problem with the middle harmonies are always my issue.
Yeah.
I could have a real good ear for the high ones, the low ones, or the lead.
I'm the same way. I can sing high, I can sing the bass part, and I can sing lead. I was luckily when I was growing up, there was 4 of us, and we my whole family was same kind of thing, like super musical family. And me and my 3 sisters would do 4-part harmony for
really?
Years. Yeah, and it was. But when I was singing with them, I only ever sang the bass or the lead. And so, training to hear those other parts is like, it's training. It is like, it's just like going to the gym or anything else. You're sitting there in front of the piano, dinging notes, trying to, hear the right thing.
Yeah. I got to be able to hear it in my head. I can't just pull it out. Like a high harmony, I can hit that easy.
Yeah.
And, bounce that around. That's not that hard. But that one in the middle, that's usually just one note, move up just a little bit, move down just a little bit. That is so hard for me to hit.
It's hard to do. Well, because it's hard to hear too. Like when you're hearing that and other bands do it, it's difficult to pick those harmonies out. So they're hard to learn because, most of the time, at least for me, in my experience, like when I'm learning stuff, I'm learning it by ear, listening to other people do it. And it's hard to hear those 2 middle parts anyway. So training yourself to do it is like, it's a chore. You got to sit through and really focus and really like have your instrument out and pick those guys out of there. You got to really want versus, okay, like, is it worth the effort to do that when you've got, like in my case, like my sister can hear that and pull it off, no problem. Okay, I'll sing the bass.
I always envy those people that can pull up that middle harmony.
Yeah.
It's not something that I can do. And a lot of times when you're playing in bars, there's not a whole lot of point.
Right, exactly. Yeah, you want that high note to cut through the crowd noise and like the bass part to kind of rumble through the amps. But really, nobody's going to hear those middle parts.
Yeah, nobody's going to hear those 2 middle parts.
Yeah.
And as much as it would be cool to have that, it does not translate well into a live situation.
Yeah.
If you have a really good sound tech.
Sound tech, or you're in a venue where everybody's quiet and paying attention. Like, but if you're playing to crowd noise, good luck.
Don't even bother.
Yeah, that's a lot of work.
A lot of bands that try to And everybody's singing on stage. You should really stop singing.
Yeah.
And I've been in those bands, and whenever that starts happening, I will make sure to back myself away from so they know it's not me singing.
Yeah. You just like hold your bass up.
Yeah, it's not me. I'm standing away from the microphone. Everybody see this.
Man. Yeah. Well, that's awesome. So what do you got going on now? What's on the horizon for you?
We got that big show at Goldfields Saturday after Thanksgiving. We're playing down at the new Hard Rock Casino in Tijuana.
Is that by the newest one in like by Bakersfield? Yeah.
We're doing that in December. What else am I missing? I know I'm not the schedule guy. Yeah. the marketing and the scheduling is not my thing, and I'm like I schedule rehearsals. Studio stuff.
Yeah.
Somebody says, "Oh, we're playing this Saturday." Oh, are we? Where are we playing?
Great. Yeah. Tell me where to be. Yeah. So you got any new songs coming out, or have you guys released anything recently?
We have not released anything in a while. We have a bunch of songs done that just need the last little tweaks.
Yeah.
And musicians, it's like herding cats.
Yeah.
We got to get a couple of us in the same place, and then we have to, go and finish up somewhere else.
Yeah.
And it's nerve-wracking. We have 4 or 5 songs ready that just need those final little tweaks.
Yeah. Well, when you get them, let us know. We'll give you a shout on the show and get some ears your way. Yeah, that'd be great.
I'm going to go and handcuff us all together and drag us all into the one place. Okay, now you do this. Yeah. I'm going to do this. Let's finish this.
Yeah.
And get it out.
You send a 911 text so everyone shows up.
Yeah.
They're like, great, you're all here.
Lock the door.
This meeting because
throw the key out the window. We have work to do.
Yeah, we have songs to record. But man, thanks so much for coming on the show, man. I really appreciate it.
This has been a blast.
Yeah, thank you. And good luck, going forward, man. I'm excited to see what comes for you guys.
Yeah, me too. Thank you so much.
Thanks. All right. Thank you, guys.